Hello, a warm welcome to another edition of Power Wheel, a production of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN. This week's package is special as it moves away from the normal routine of reports. This is captured in the Power News segment. I am Chinwenwa Anyao. Transmission projects are capital intensive as they traverse the length and breadth of Nigeria. For TCN, the strive to construct more transmission lines and towers to enable it transmit more quantum of electricity to its many substations to boost supply to Nigerians has been challenged by the issues of securing right of way across communities playing host to these infrastructures. Today, our documentary beams a spotlight on the Nsukka 30 MVA transmission substation, ready to be energized after the Enugu State Governor, Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, collaborated with TCN to clear most of the right-of-way issues for the project. Happy viewing.
The Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, has finally been granted right-of-way on the 132 kV double-circuit New Haven transmission line between Eha Alumona and UNN Nsukka, which has been a subject of litigation for more than 3 years, to enable it string its line on towers so that it can energize its 1x30 MVA 13233 kV transmission substation at UNN, completed in June 2016. This was made possible by the intervention of the Enugu State Governor, Honorable Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi. This will enable TCN take power to the 30 MVA 13233 kV Nsukka substation, while the few remaining rights-of-way issues on the 330 kV transmission line from New Haven substation is sorted out. The MD CEO of Transmission Company of Nigeria, Mr. Usman Gur Mohammed, had during a courtesy visit to the governor earlier solicited for the intervention of the government of Enugu State in resolving compensation issues that have stalled the completion of the project over the years. The MD CEO of Transmission Company of Nigeria commended Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi for setting the pace in promptly resolving compensation issues affecting transmission line acquisition at Eha Alumona and Unru Nsukka, which stalled works on the 132 kV line since 2016.
When we met Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi in company of management of TCN, which include Engineer Adeomi, who is the head TSP, Ifeanyi Izugu, the executive director, admin and human resources and corporate services, the GM public affairs, and the general manager of Enugu, on the line between the tee-off from the New Haven Otupo line to the new substation in Nsukka. It was wonderful because, first of all, the governor received us at a time that he didn't expect a chief executive of that caliber to receive us, because he received us about 10:30. Because when we came back from Nsukka, it was already late, but he received us. And he was very friendly, and he immediately accepted to support us to ensure that we partner with the Enugu State government so that Enugu remove the people who are on the right of way, and we, TCN, will reconduct the line and bring supply to Nsukka. This is a wonderful partnership, and I think it's something that we hope to do with other governors so that we can remove power supply constraint to various parts of Nigeria.
It is heartwarming to note that the Enugu State Governor was not deterred by the enormity of the problem involved in securing right-of-way, and he did not only secure right-of-way for TCN, but also paid compensation to the affected communities and cleared the line route. It is even gratifying to note that the Enugu State Governor actually provided the bulldozers and other machineries that have worked tirelessly to complete the clearing of TCN's right-of-way for the project. One may actually ask why the Enugu project is so significant. This question cannot be fully addressed without addressing the question of why now. The project connects Nsukka 30 MVA substation started with the concern and patriotic efforts of a retiree, Engineer Colinius Ugorji, who made that singular trip to Abuja and was advised to bring his idea to the current CEO of TCN, Mr. Usman Gur Mohammed. His mission to draw Mr. Mohammed's attention to the Nsukka transmission substation and its problem. This singular selfless visit changed the narrative for the Nsukka 30 MVA transmission substation.
I would say it's how God wants it. It's God's providence. I was in Nsukka not really for this job. I went there to do a different thing at University of Nigeria, Nsukka. And when I finished, I decided to greet our transmission people. I thought that station by now would have been on. But to my chagrin, I discovered that the place was deserted. I only met a mega there. I asked why. He told me that the station was completed, but the line to feed the station was not ready. That is the line from Enugu to Nsukka. That aroused my curiosity. I made further inquiries. I discovered that the contractor handling that Enugu Nsukka 132 kV line had withdrawn from site. Some portion of the line vandalized, and that there were a lot of court cases on the line. Then another thought came to me: what if they use the existing Yandev 132 kV line? So when that thought came to me, I shared my burden with some people from that area, particularly the present chairman of Udenu local government, Frank Ugu. And he bought the idea and took it to the governor. That was at that level. Another time, I had an idea also that I feel that will help the NEC, Nigerian Electricity Regulation Commission. So I went to NEC office to discuss the idea I have, and there and then somebody told me of the TCN of MD, and that man encouraged me that the MD TCN is the kind of person I should meet. I should go and share any idea I have. And I remember that Nsukka job. That was how I took it to him. Not only that he received me, in fact, he accepted the little piece of information I took to him. Not only that he accepted it, he started the implementation right there in my presence.
Why the Nsukka substation, I asked.
So the why, I will say, is necessity. You know, that's the why. It was not Nsukka project is not one of those projects that are politically motivated. That station was motivated by real need. Was motivated to solve problem, and that was how the station came up.
The MD CEO commended Engineer Ugoji for his show of patriotism.
One fateful day, I was sitting in the office, I think sometime in November. A gentleman called Cornelius Ugoji came to my office, and I met him. And my thinking was that he has come to solicit for a contract or to discuss about previous contracts that he has with TCN. But to my surprise, this gentleman told me he didn't come for any of this. That he was told in Enugu that a new CEO in TCN is somebody that if you approach and tell him information about the problem of Nsukka, the CEO would take it very seriously. So he came to provide information to me about how we can tee off from the New Haven Otukpo line and provide supply to Tsuka. The supply to Tsuka was supposed to come through a line that was being built by NIPP from New Haven to Tsuka. Unfortunately, that line is bedeviled by several court cases and several concerns that the contract has been abandoned. So this gentleman gave me the information. I was so surprised. Because immediately he gave me this information, it was my driver that took him to the airport straight, because he didn't have anything to do here in Abuja. And he didn't ask me to support him with any transportation, so he left. So immediately he left. Immediately he was here, I told him, I promised him that in 1 week, if I confirm what he said, I will go to Enugu and I will partner with the Enugu state government if the governor will support me to ensure that we provide supply to the people of Nsukka. Because Nsukka is the place where we have the premier University of Nsukka, which is one of the oldest universities in Nigeria. So there's no reason why we cannot move in to solve this problem. So we quickly moved in after 1 week from his coming. Immediately we landed in the airport in Enugu. We landed around 6 o'clock. We didn't even go to a hotel. We moved straight to the place and we went and confirmed what the gentleman told us. And that was the beginning of the collaboration that we started with the Enugu state government, which has resulted in energizing the line and the substation in Enugu, which has been completed since 2006 and was not energized and provided supply, which was just a stranded asset. So we have solved the problem of stranded asset.
Let's take a break to bring you a message. When we return, we would continue with the documentary on the Nsukka 30 MVH transmission substation and our progress report. Please stay with Power Wheel.
Verify that land before you buy it to drastically reduce the incidence of building on the transmission rights of way or encroaching on designated TCN lines routes. Members of the public are hereby requested to verify land near TCN towers or along transmission lines before purchasing it. Verification should be made at the Land Development Authority or at the nearest TCN office. This will help in drastically reducing the incidence of building under transmission rights of way and save us all the problem of pulling down the structures already built or truncating TCN lines expansion projects in your community due to court injunctions. Help us serve you better. Verify that land before you buy it.
Welcome back. The documentary on Nsukka 30 MVA transmission substation project continues in a moment.
As the bulldozers push down the trees and crops to make way for the transmission line, we wanted to feel the pulse of the people about the ongoing clearing right of way for electricity transmission line.
The measurement too much. I'm very grateful. Abambu, Mr. John Eze. Ukambona, Ubibanso or Paulina, because all a development cover, and I am happy because now, I'm not Chukuma Mara. I'm a quick answer. No, you are my cover. And the way nothing homa, homa happy but an idea. So near the can carry and Kabatako. At least next year, I will get more development Kakarenka. And Mobna Hagi, where Chakwara and Kiabi Gorokita, Obi Diamo. And here, at least the land can reduce not the measurement because they are taking much land.
In fact, one cannot help but commend the members of the communities for their cooperation and patience, in the words of Engineer Kazim, the Assistant General Manager, Transmission, Enugu Substation.
The locals here are wonderful people. They have proved to be people who understand the need for us to forgo our personal interests in the interest of the overall interest of the entire community. What they have done is very significant.
Speaking on the efforts in the past to energize the Nsukka substation, the General Manager, Transmission, Engineer Atabule, noted that initially the transmission line being constructed by Pivot was vandalized at several points before and after the contractor demobilized from site.
The transformer station has been completed since 2016, but the transformer cannot be put to use as a result of the line not being ready to power the transformers. The 132 kV line project was awarded to Messrs. Pivot, but due to right-of-way issue and litigations, work could not be completed on that line. The line is pending, but hopefully the litigation issue will be resolved and work will commence on the completion of the 132 kV double circuit line.
Although the idea of feeding Nsukka 1x30 MVA 132 33 kV substation from the New Haven Utukpo 132 kV track line, which was deloaded due to the commissioning of the APIR 330 132 33 kV substation, was mooted with the region. The consideration was practicalized with the visit of Mr. Ugoji to the MD CEO of TCN. The MD CEO then moved to discuss the issue with the governor of Enugu State, Honorable Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, who took the matter seriously and responded accordingly. We would not be able to completely express our appreciation for his quick and decisive intervention. The job is almost completed. The bulldozers are at work, while our engineers have also commenced stringing of the lines. For now, TCN would link the 30 MV Nsukka substation from the existing Otukpo line until the New Haven Nsukka 132 kV double circuit transmission line is completed. This will ensure utilization of the transformer for improvement of power supply to Nsukka environs, thereby having real value for money. The MD CEO of TCN, Mr. Usman Gur Mohammed, expressed TCN's gratitude to the timely intervention of Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi and urged governors of the states of the Federation to follow the exemplary footsteps of the Enugu State Governor to bring electricity much closer to Nigerians.
I want to once again thank His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Enugu State, Mr. Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi Burumuru, for the wonderful collaboration that we have with him. I will call it wonderful collaboration because this is a partnership that within a short period of time solved a problem that has been lingering for over 3 years. And I wish to also call all other governors to emulate this kind of partnership, because we have several of these kind of limitations in various parts of the country. In a similar vein, we have also received tremendous support from the governor of Kaduna State when we were preparing the project to be supported by Islamic Development Bank to put 5 additional substations in Kaduna. He gave us tremendous support. In fact, the governor did give us not only the land, but the governor cleared the right of way, and also you give us deploy the state GIS that do the survey for all the right of way and the location of the land that we are putting the substations. In the same vein, the Bauchi State Government has also did the survey for the place we are putting the 330 kV substation in Bauchi, and has also gone ahead to pay compensation for the people that are living on that substation. We are also working to sign a memorandum of understanding with the Delta State Government and the AGIP on the second phase of the Opai Power Plant. The Opai Power Plant first phase has been constructed in a place called in Delta State, but when they came to build the second phase, the community are feeling that they need to be provided supply, and it's their right to demand for power supply. Why will be power produced around their area and they don't get it? So because of the agitation, we came in and we are now signing a memorandum of understanding where TCN is going to extend supply from 330, 132 line and substation to Kwale. And under that process, the Delta State Government is the one that will pay the right of way, is the one that will provide the land, while AGIP will do the sand filling and provide access road. So these are kind of partnerships that we want to replicate it all over the country. We are in discussion with government in Lagos on the lightening of Lagos. Lightening of Lagos actually have two phases, and the main important phase of the two phases is the issue of putting transformer and transformation capacity all over Lagos. Because if you generate electricity in Lagos and there's no transformer to take the supply, the supply will go to other places. So we have had an extensive discussion with the governor of Lagos on how we can remove the encumbrances on the existing places where we have substation, because we cannot increase the capacity of those substations on land that are under question, meaning it's under litigation or it's under disagreement between TCN and some other people who are claiming it. So Lagos State government has indicated that they are going to work to resolve all the land litigation issues on the substations in Lagos. So I plead with all executive governors all over the country, because there's no state in Nigeria that does not require electricity. And one of the biggest problem of extension of infrastructure in Nigeria is the problem of right-of-way. It's very, very expensive, and because the state governments are the owner of land, it becomes easier for them to secure the right-of-way. So we, TCN, are happy to partner with every state all over the country to see how we can remove power supply constraint in those places.
Yes, the Nsukka Transmission Lines project has finally been completed thanks to Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi and his team, as well as the resilience of the TCN engineering crew in Enugu region, who worked tirelessly to string the transmission towers. The Nsukka 123 kV line was energized 2nd of March 2018 up to the substation with the line isolator in open position. Final phase of work continues at the substation with tests to enable TCN finally energize the substation transformer. The Nsukka substation will boost electricity supply to residents of Nsukka and environs.
We bring to you news and more news in the Power Flash segment.
I will, as usual, report the progress that we have made, which include the approval by the World Bank for the sum of $486 million to support TCN's transmission expansion program. On the operational side, TCN continues to increase its wheeling capacity and upgrade its substations, working also with Niger Delta Power Holding Company, NDPHC. But specifically, let me announce progress that has been made on substations in Uyo and Calabar. And the Calabar substation is complete, ready to energize. The Uyo substation is also complete, and in a matter of days ready to energize to expand that substation to 180 MVA.
That's all we have for you on today's special feature. We believe that various state governments who have not keyed into the transmission efforts by collaborating with TCN in solving the right-of-way issues to invest in new transmission infrastructures will take a cue from the Enugu State government. It's been great having your company. Please reach us as always through these platforms on your screen. Let's do it again next week, shall we? I am Chinwenwa Anyao. Thanks for watching and bye.